Boreal forests, also known as taiga, are located in high latitudes where freezing temperatures occur for up to 6 or 8 months. The forest was created 12,000 years ago at the beginning of the Holocene epoch. The forest itself lies between the treeless tundra zone of the Arctic around 70 degrees north and the temperate forest zones at 50 degrees north. The forests cover 1.9 billion hectares globally and accounts for 14% of the Earth's land. Canada in particular has 28% of the world's boreal forest zone within it. The trees that make up the forest include pine, spruce, larch, fir, poplar, and birch, but there are more than just trees in this forest. Thousands of lakes, rivers, and wetlands are also included within the boreal forest. There are 3.7 million people in the world that live within the boreal zone, and 70% of all Aboriginal communities in Canada are dependent on the forest. The importance of the forest is not limited to the human race, but it does play a large role in the country's economy. Canada's boreal forest is responsible for the production of timber, minerals, hydroelectric energy, food, and renewable raw materials. Globally, the boreal forest is a massive carbon sink, meaning that it absorbs carbon and stores it in rich soils and in the trees themselves during photosynthesis. This is incredibly important in the fight against climate change and the preservation of our planet. However, the boreal forest is not only under threat because of climate change, but also from the human practice of logging and mining. While logging is the source of Canada's timber, the removal of too many trees not only releases the stored carbon into the air, but also takes away the homes of the species that are dependent on the forest. Mining instruments are powered by fossil fuels, which when in action release carbon and other toxic chemicals into the atmosphere. Mining also causes fragmentation and forces the water flow of rivers and lakes into other areas, flooding and drowning species. While some natural threats like forest fire, insects, and disease can get out of hand and be harmful to the environment, they can also do a lot of good. They are capable of removing aged trees, releasing the nutrients from those trees, and breaking the canopy, allowing sunlight in. Secondary succession in boreal forests is most often after a forest fire, in which the disturbance leads to the recolonization of land by plants and other animals. It is the start of life after death. Birch is one of the first trees to recolonize in the early stages of secondary succession. As time goes on, other trees such as pine, spruce, larch, fir, and poplar will return, but the conifers will once again regain dominance of the forest. The forest is home to a wide range of animals, including 150 bird species, insects, fungi, mammals, and microorganisms. But with all this diversity comes competition for resources. Competition is high in the forest, but with it spanning over 1.9 billion hectares worldwide, there's plenty of space and resources to go around. The different trophic levels within the forest is what causes the wide diversity. Trophic levels are known as the position that an organism occupies within their food chain. Plants and trees are known as primary producers, meaning they produce their own food, and are given a trophic level of 1. Next come the herbivores like rabbits, deer, caribou, and moose, which are considered primary consumers and have a secondary trophic level. Detritivores like bacteria and fungi break down dead organisms and are also placed at the second trophic level. Third comes the secondary consumers, which include carnivorous birds, wolves, foxes, and coyotes. And finally comes the tertiary consumers, which are at the top of the boreal forest food chain and include the Canadian lynx and occasionally some types of bears. Understanding different trophic levels and how they impact the forest is one way to try to save it. Another includes the practice of two-eyed seeing created by the indigenous group, the Mi'kmaq. The Mi'kmaq are just one of the indigenous groups that have taken care of and respected the land that they have cultured. Two-eyed seeing is a guiding principle that refers to the gift of multiple perspectives from both the indigenous and Western ways. By utilizing this method, we are capable of understanding the effects humans have and how intricate species interactions function. This audio clip reminds me of walking through a forest right after a rainfall where the sun is just starting to break through the clouds, and the forest is blooming with color. The calming sounds of the birds rejoicing allows a feeling of serenity to wash over. There are so many types of species interactions that make this forest and this planet the most amazing and diverse place to live. It radiates a feeling of peace and realization of existence, and that's a feeling I wouldn't trade for anything.